Hey, Michael Estrada here, and are you looking to get your first gig in photography? So when it comes to your first gig in photography, it is kind of scary. I myself took, a few months after I first got my camera to actually start doing it. For myself, I was more scared than anything to actually start taking photos for people. Really never felt confident in my work personally. But at some point, if you do want to be a photographer, a professional photographer, you're going to have to start. And today I'm going to tell you how I started, recommendations on how to start, and basic just where to get started. And January of this year is when I finally started. It was a really small gig at this Sweet 16 party, but not for the actual girl herself. It was for the DJ's hype man. And while this is a unusual gig, it was personally my first, and I would actually say it was a really awesome one. I just purchased this lens right here. It's extremely good at nighttime, so I said, hey, let's give it a crack. Let me put my ad up and let's go ahead and get a job and start this photography business off right. But with taking his photos, he actually had another gig with a brand that's local in my town, and they needed a photo shoot of him in their clothes wears, and guess who was his photographer? So one thing led to another. I actually took some photos for their actual clothing line, so it definitely helps to put your foot in the door and take any gig as necessary. I personally did my first gig for free because I had no experience. And while people say if you're good at something, never do it for free, I feel like do it for free so you can prove that you're good at something. Not only to the people who are getting the products, but to yourself. It really gives you no pressure at all when it comes to final product. If they love it, they got a stellar deal and they got it for free. If they don't, no problem, they can pay for it to get it done. It was free. So I personally myself recommend do your first few gigs for free, and that goes with anything. My first gig that included a baby, did it for free because I've never taken photos of babies. My first photo shoot for a portrait of someone for their business picture, I did it for free because I never took portraits, so it's always important to put your foot out there. And I'm not saying do everything for free. Definitely whenever you feel you're comfortable enough and you feel like you should charge for your products, definitely go ahead and do it, because this once again is your business and your way of making money. So definitely don't let anyone stop you on making your money and living the way you want to live. It's very important. And back to the first gig, you just need to go ahead and put yourself out there. I was personally super afraid on what if no one calls me? And that's totally okay for your first time. Build up portfolio and try it again the next week or month or year, whenever you feel comfortable. Personally, I have my friend, his name is Patrick, and one night while we were playing games, he told me, hey Michael, why don't you put out an ad and start taking photos? And that really got me to thinking. That's why I put my ad on Craigslist. I said, who knows what I'm gonna get? It's Craigslist, but who knows what I'm gonna get? Maybe I'm gonna get an awesome first job. And like I said, I did. And I'll show you some photos of my first job at the Sweet 16 of the DJ's hype man. I'll show them right now. And while I'm saying they're not the greatest, they're pretty dang good for your first job. I'll also show you the pictures I took for the clothing brand, and I say I knocked this one out of the park. They really enjoyed it, and we actually kept in contact for future shoots of other people. So definitely was not the worst idea taking that first job and doing it for free, because it's led to other stuff where then you can get paid for what you're doing. So always take a chance, put yourself out there, and become what you want to become, and ultimately live the life you always wanted to live. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video, and as always, if you like it, leave a like, leave a comment, and ultimately subscribe. And thank you, and I'll see you next Sunday.